What's goody, y'all? You guys know who it is, Ringside Rave. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and let's get into this podcast.
Ringside Raves, the Fade Hour. It's your boy Smokes. Who am I hanging with tonight?
What up, y'all? It's your boy Newzz, representing that Ringside Rave all day. Y'all already know what it is, man.
Hey, what's good, yo? It's Pat Scorpion, the New England representative.
Hey, what's up, y'all, man? This Maul from Brews and Boxing from Duval, man.
Yo, so we had a busy weekend of pretty shitty fights. But there was a lot of other stuff that came out of those fights. Most notably is that Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are going to fight in like 3 months. So what do y'all think about that?
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
You're not going first, Pat. Just tell me what you think.
Well, first of all, I mean, I've been, advertising that. I said this is the fight that should happen. I was like, Fury should either fight Femi or Wilder because someone needs to get that lineal title off him.
Pat.
So pretty much this is what we call.
Who's your favorite heavyweight?
Huh?
Who's your favorite heavyweight, Pat?
Right now, it's Femi, of course.
Anthony Joshua?
Yes.
All right, for sure.
Yeah, so it's a fight it's a necessity. Now whether or not it's going to be good or not remains to be seen.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely anticipating the fight. Definitely got to see my boy Deontay Wilder and the Bomb Squad get that lineal championship off of Tyson Fury's waist. I'm happy to see that at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua fans are going to have to refer to Deontay Wilder as the man, because guess what? That's who he will be. And he will be referred to as none other than the man. Unless you're going to refer to him as the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, or you can call him the Bronze Bomber, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, Wilder's going to take care of business. I cannot wait. I think I'm definitely going to be there. Some of y'all got to get there.
Newzz, are you going to be there?
Listen, man, I already have all intentions of being there. I'm about to book my flight. I already put in with the to look in for the hotel. I'm trying to get there from Wednesday to Sunday. That's how I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to do Wednesday to Sunday.
So I think you know what? I'm gonna do the best I can to try and get there. But I think it's gonna be a short fight, under 5 rounds.
Under 5?
Yeah, I believe it too. Because Fury, I mean, pretty much the big thing with Fury is he's a big guy that can use his lateral movement. I saw struggle shit in that sparring match he had on Saturday. I'm looking at this guy as like, there's no way this motherfucker is ready for Wilder. Not at all. I mean, unless he gets into this fight, under 240 pounds, I just don't see him because he looked god awful. I was just like, this guy, this is a business decision, and Wilder, as sloppy as he is probably going to catch him with one right hand, and it's going to be that's all it takes. This fight is not going to last long either. I agree, Smoke. I'm guessing it's going to last at least 3-4 rounds, 5 max.
Mal, what about you?
I'm just happy to see the fight because I want to see how Wilder has grown from what he had to go against Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a good measuring stick test for him. Not to say I think Fury is better than Ortiz, but Wilder was able to get in there with a live dog, somebody who's really good boxing. And with Fury, I want to see what he do to avoid that punch, because either he gets knocked the fuck out or gonna go the distance. And I just want to see what Wilder could do if he doesn't land a punch, how he can do as far as winning the rounds with just boxing. I don't know. Maybe he can, maybe he can't, but that's what I want to see. I want to see if he can get the knockout. Can he do it over 12? Which he did against Stavern, but we know Fury isn't going to stand right there in front of him. So that's why I'm ready to see how their styles clash, and I don't know if it's going to go to. I'll wait to get closer to the fight to get into the details of how I think it's going to go out.
I know.
I think if Fury goes on a fucking juice cleanse for the next 2 months and loses 50 pounds, it doesn't matter because he can shoulder roll his way left and right. He's just going to end up going into a punch. And this was the thing before, I didn't even realize this when it came to Wilder, but you're basically going the entire fight trying to avoid being hit mildly flush by a right hand. So you have to go 12 rounds to avoid getting even buzzed or stunned by a punch he probably throws 200 times. And with Fury still being fat and all that stuff and all the ring rust, I think it's going to be a highlight reel KO.
Oh, definitely. Like I was gonna say, like when he said this, when I was saying how styles clash, I was gonna say, yeah, it's definitely gonna look like how styles clash. It's gonna look like how styles clash when you bring a bat to a piñata. That's exactly what it's gonna look like when that right hand busts Fury open right there. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Smoke, you cannot escape. You cannot escape pretty much any top tier fighter right hand for a full 12 rounds. Even when you go into it with the game, you get hit, they try to shake it off. The problem is Wilder doesn't have that right hand that you just shake off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like even when it does glance at you, it does bother you. So, and with Fury being out for 3 months, 3 years, so add on an extra 33 months to that. with him being on an extra 3 years before he came back and only having 2 fights before fighting Wilder. I mean, I'm not going to say, I think he took the ring rust off, but is he ready for Wilder? No, of course he's not. I didn't think he was ready for Wilder when he was.
Right.
There 3 years ago. So, I mean, it's going to be a nice event for the 4 or 5, hopefully 6 rounds at last.
Right.
I hope it goes at least 6.
I think the biggest thing too is I don't think it's Wilder's right hand. I think it's the opposite, that Fury can't hurt Wilder. That's still going to be the problem. You know what I'm saying? Ortiz had the arsenal to hurt Wilder, and he did, and he still didn't put Wilder down. You know what I'm saying? So you look at somebody like Fury. I can't remember the last knockout that he's had. I can't really remember the last legit knockdown that he's had. So I don't expect Wilder to get hurt or to be worried about coming in wildly and get clipped with something. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? If Ortiz couldn't clip him, then why am I going to believe that Fury going to be able to do it?
Ortiz did clip him.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, put him down. You know what I mean. You know what I mean when I say clip him. Right.
Yeah, I think Fury's jab could give him trouble for like 4 rounds. But that's about it, because Fury's hands are a lot faster than his feet.
Honestly, I don't think Fury's going to have anything for Wilder, for the simple fact that Fury did look nimble, but when he fought Klitschko, but he was fighting Klitschko, and Klitschko's pretty much the boxing version of Drew Bledsoe in the pocket, a statue. Klitschko couldn't deal with that movement. You know what I mean? And that's an old throwback for y'all. Wilder is much more fluid than that and much more athletic. Did you see what he did to Stavern when he wanted to get Stavern up out of there? Imagine he runs up on Fury like that.
Too.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I mean, it wasn't like it was a controlled finish. I mean, that motherfucker was throwing his punches all the way from the fucking stands. That motherfucker is wild.
Yeah, and it's hard to prepare for that. It's like Sean Porter. You know what I mean? Like Sean Porter's wild. And it's like when Wilder goes wild. When Wilder goes wild, it's like Hulkamania.
You can't prepare yourself for Wilder, and these 2 people that he fought is not gonna be prepared for.
So I can't see Fury being able to stand up to that. You know what I mean? The only thing that Fury has really, how he gets his knockout because he uses his size. He knows how to use his size. I mean, he will lean on you because he's big as fuck. And then when he wears you down, he's a decent puncher. He's not anything spectacular. I mean, he's not gonna get you out there with 1 punch. It's just pretty much he wears you down with his size, and then either an uppercut or some wild ass or right hook or something of that nature. I mean, that's how he finishes people. I mean, like I said, and of course that would involve him actually getting close to Wilder to actually do that. Man, I just can't wait for the event. Like again, I had to remember, but not until Tyson Fury said, "I'm gonna knock you the fuck out," and not until he said that did I remember. Like, wait a minute, I heard that before. That's that Conor McGregor accent. You know what I mean? I forgot how those fans, Irish fans, show up and show out for their fighters. So I'm thinking, man, that's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view event.
And then that commentator was like, "Excuse us for the industrial strength language."
That was dying.
That was funny.
I was out when he said that. I was like, God damn, industrial strength language. I may have to bring that into my everyday vernacular. That should be so wild. I have to use it at some point.
So I think that, like I said, that Wilder's going to end it in under 6, and I think it's going to be in like highlight reel, like top 3 knockouts of Wilder's career ever fashion.
And it's a shame too, because Fury
goes up against the ropes too much.
Well, Fury also has a suspect chin. Out of the 4 heavyweights that are actually, in this round robin, his is probably the weakest.
Who cracked it?
I'd agree with that.
Who cracked it?
I'd agree with that. No, I'd agree with that. It's not even about who cracked it. It's about the fact that he's 6'9", though. It's not really anybody who can really crack his chin.
No, so, it's been cracked. USS laid him down.
Yeah, and yes, Steve Cunningham put him down, and Steve, Steve is my man and all, but Steve is not supposed to be able to knock down Tyson Fury with one punch.
Man, y'all better watch what y'all say about Steve. Y'all sorry what he said to Smoke. He's about to beat the hell out of Smoke, man. I ain't saying nothing about him. Nope, I ain't doing it.
I ain't even see it.
No, I'm big up in Steve, man. Like I said, I wasn't. Steve. Even Steve will probably tell you himself. I'm not supposed to be able to knock down Tyson Fury with one punch.
That's not what he told me.
That's that. Yeah, he ain't tell Smoke that.
I don't know what he tells Smoke. I don't know.
That's why I asked Pat that, because I know that that's Pat's man. Nah, he came up on my IG talking all this shit, like I fought killers, like no one's laid him down after me, like all this other stuff.
Well, Steve, if you hear this, man, Steve, I'm a fan, man. I saw you in Worcester, man. I'm a big fan. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it shocked the fuck out of me to see you drop Fury with one punch, man. That's all I'm saying, man. You're still a man. Just in case you hear this. Hey,
man. Shout out to Steve Cunningham. I used to use him on Prize Fighter when it was on PlayStation. And I used to, when they didn't have too many fighters on there, Steve Cunningham showed up when he was the champion. When he was, yeah, that was Don King fighter, man.
Smoke, Newzz specific. I'm looking at it right now. He said, "Why hasn't anyone knocked Fury down or close to it since? Vlad didn't even do it, but I'm like punching. You know how many killers I fought, and none of them ran over me. Even Fury had to cheat to beat me. This is why just anybody can't be the bringer of boxing info. There's levels to what you're watching, bro."
So, man, that was disrespectful. Like, I don't understand. I never understand why boxers take the tone of like they hide their losses under so and so was doing drugs or this or that and the third, and then they bring it around like it's knowledge. I don't think if he used drugs to beat you or anything like that, then he used drugs to beat you. That wouldn't have nothing to do with knowledge. But then again, at the same time,
I wasn't being disrespectful by calling Steve Cunningham light punching. Much respect, USS, but your KO rate's probably under 60%. It's not an insult.
Saying he was a light puncher, yeah. Steve Cunningham, look, man, he did what he did his job. He reached success. That's the one good thing about it. Fighters like a Steve Cunningham, for example, are the type of people that go unmentioned. You know how, like in other sports, like in basketball, you had the all-star players.
Yeah,
and they win like 1 or 2 all-star appearances, but they was good players, and that's how Steve Cunningham is. He's one of them good boxers, man. Shout out to Steve. We ain't even gonna argue with Steve. Just show us. He even had his eyes on it. That say more about what we doing than anything.
Steve, again, man. Pat Scorpio is a fan, man. So no insult, all love.
Oh, I love Steve Cunningham. Like I said, he was the only one on Prize Fighter that I played with.
Yeah. So speaking of fans, we're all fans of big boxing cards, and we were talking about Fury Wilder, but earlier today, the undercard for Canelo Triple G2 came out, and it looks like there could be a couple hitters on there.
Yeah, like pretty much, I think Oscar put some thought into this shit. Like, and honestly, I mean, pretty much all three fights, I see fades coming about, especially that Lemieux fight. And I think that in this case,
fight.
Huh?
Spike's gonna carry that one.
Man, they both gonna go to war. David Lemieux don't back down from somebody coming at him.
And Spike will definitely go head to head with him.
But they're gonna go. That's why it's gonna be a good fight, because David Lemieux is not gonna just back down, and Spike is definitely gonna test your. That's one thing Spike's gonna do. He's gonna test your heart at the end of the day. So
test your chin too.
You see that fight? It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. It's a good lead in into the Triple G and Canelo fight. I like it. I like it.
Is that the actual co-main event, or is the Munguia fight?
That's the Munguia fight. You know they want to get Munguia the highlight knockout before going into the Canelo fight.
Yeah.
So he's fighting the guy Brandon Cox that admittedly I've never heard of.
Brandon Cook, not Cox. Brandon Cook.
My bad. See, is Brandon Cook anything special, or is he gonna Liam Smith it in there against Munguia?
I'm about to do my Googles. I can't even lie.
I mean, he's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't want to say he's anything special, but he's all right. I mean, he only has one loss. I mean, and it was a lot. I think it was on a Showbox card too, if I remember.
So think that? What's up, Newzz? He gonna bring the fade to Munguia?
Oh no, I don't know, but I know he's gonna fight like his life's on the line. He got the co-main event of the Canelo GGG card, so I know at the end of the day, whoever it is gonna bring it, because he had to. Like I said, it's no disrespect to him, but I seen it today too on the undercard, and I was like, who? And I didn't get it in the box rec him. Shout outs to box rec. I didn't get it to box rec him to see who he is, but I just know, just period. If he got the heart that I would think that you would have to be a boxer, and you get that opportunity to compete for a championship, especially against somebody who looked real green in his last fight, I know at the end of the day he's gonna give it his all. So I'm gonna definitely want to check that. But I think that's just I don't know. I think they tried to make that a showcase fight.
Yeah, I mean Cook was before he was supposed to fight Kell Brook before Kell Brook got injured.
Yo, Brandon
got penciled in.
He's a white dude from Canada.
Yeah, he looks like you, Smoke.
He don't. What? Yo, Pat, I'm gonna have to see you now. What? I'm gonna get a guy on box rack.
Come on, man. Listen, man. At the end of the day, it's Oscar. I don't have to say too much. All I gotta say is it's Oscar. It's Golden Boy. It's Mexican Independence Day weekend. It's Canelo. It's Mexican style. You're fighting the new young Mexican champion on the Mexican card. That's not a fight that they're putting together to look 50-50, especially coming off of Liam Smith, where you were supposed to blow through. So that's what I'm saying. This is just a showcase. They're not definitely going to put him in a tough fight. I know Brandon Cook's going to give it his all and attempt to shock the world, but it's a showcase fight in that. So I'm looking at David Lemieux and Spike O'Sullivan being the real co-main event. And then Chocolatito was a Moises Fuentes. I'm looking at that as being a nice opening card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moises Fuentes, we say what up because y'all hollered at us once, said what's good. Mm-hmm. So we hope that's going to be a good against Chocolatito.
Yeah, to me, this would be a good confidence builder for him. I mean, just what he has left.
Yep.
I think it's entirely possible that he gets whooped.
True. I don't know. This is why it's going to be a good fight. Without that pressure, that number one pound for pound, that number one best in the world thing is on your back when you fight in top competition. It's tough. We haven't seen anybody ranked number one pound for pound besides Floyd fight people at the very top in their prime. You know what I mean? And Floyd, for as great as he did, they weren't in their prime. In their prime. Him out there fighting. What do we call him? Lil G, or Baby? What do they call him? They was trying to make him something, Chocolatito, whatever. You know what I mean? They had him fighting the Murderers Row.
Yeah, so I mean, there was Quadros and Arroyo, Valoria,
number one pound for pound.
I mean, he put a lot of cats, top cats, at 108, 112.
Yeah,
with that number one fighter in the world tag above your head. So everybody was coming, giving you their all. So this would probably be a little, more relaxed fight for him, without the same type of pressure, because it's more of a rebuild. It is more of a to see what, like y'all said, what he got left in him.
What he got left, yeah, definitely. Yeah. He deserved it. He definitely deserved it, because boy, it's been a.
Yeah, them two fights with King Sore, man. I mean, those were not no. I mean, those are fights that take years off your career, especially that first one.
Yeah. Well, that first one, whether you thought he won or lost, well, that shit took some. Yeah, like you said, Pat, that shit took some years. Like he took some both of them took some punishment, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what the fuck Chocolatito was doing in that fight. He stood in that man's line of fire and took just combinations about combinations and just. He dished it out, but he took way too much.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the second fight, he got fucking PTSD from one punch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to King Sore. We know that you've still fallen in love with random chicks on the street.
Hey, man, don't disrespect King Sore now.
Don't disrespect there, Patrick.
King Sore just pick the new queen. We got to be respectful here.
My dude, she looks like a board with a head.
Oh, this blasphemy. King Sore will smite you.
Yep.
So what about that? Let's just do a couple minutes, just talk about the main event of that fight. Canelo, Triple G, Newzz.
Man, we really gonna lightly touch on this because
we're
gonna do a real cast on this, and that fight is get closer. But man, you know what it is, man. This is the revenge of Canelo. That's all it is. That's all it is. GGG and his fans just have to hope that GGG just didn't get old overnight. That's all they're for. Other than that, I don't really see. I don't really see what people see, like what Canelo. What GGG is really going to do different. I hear people saying he's going to do stuff different, but it's GGG. When have we ever seen him do anything different? He does the same thing every time.
Canelo, he gasses out every time.
I was just about to say that on the flip side, Canelo and all them knew that's what Triple G does, and in the first fight, they didn't do nothing different. You know what I'm saying? When everybody say Triple G do the same thing, that they knew that going into the first fight.
But the difference is Canelo has the bionic knee now. Now he's going to be able to move a little quicker. Also, at the same time,
he's been out of the ring for a year too, though.
Right, he's been out of the ring for a year, and so as basically
that can go both ways. That can go both ways.
That fight with Vanes wasn't really a fight. I don't know what that was.
Oh, so you know what? You know what that fight with Vanes was? That fight with Vanes was good tape for Canelo, because I don't know when he actually bought into the fight, because I don't think you could really see it in Triple G when he was fighting before that fight. But in that fight, actually, it's weird because when he knocked out Vanes, that was the precise moment that you could tell, like, all right, this dude is right for being picked.
Man, I just know that. I just believe that Canelo. And I've said it before. Let me put it on record, because I haven't got to put it on record yet. I guess that's why. I believe that I watched Canelo lose to GGG.
What?
I believe that I watched Canelo Alvarez lose to Gennady Golovkin September of 2017. That's what I believe I watched. Now, I also watched those scorecards say the fight was a draw. That was Canelo with a bad knee. My theory is if Canelo with a bad knee and losing the fight in most people's eyes that watch it objectively, most of our eyes, we thought Canelo lost with a bad knee and he got a draw, then how can Canelo with a good knee, which means he's going to be able to perform a little better, lose on the same cards? I don't see it happening. This is Canelo Vegas. It's Canelo town. I mean, again, we already know what it is with those Canelo cards. That's no disrespect to Canelo's skills because everybody know I'm a fan of Canelo's skills. But at the same time, you got the skills and you got the skills and you got the card. It's like you got the talent. You got Randy Moss. You got Brady, but you still got Spygate going. Like it's extra. You know what I mean? Like you really making it hard to beat you. So that's why I don't see Canelo losing this fight to GGG at all. I don't think GGG is going to be able to beat Canelo easier than he did the first time.
Well, let's get my take on this because number one, no one wants to say the elephant in the room. Canelo is off his PEDs and he's noticeably smaller. He's noticeably smaller, and I mean, clearly he's probably juiced to the gills in that first fight because he took a lot of Triple G's punches. Now, him being off the PEDs as long as he has now because he looks pretty small. I mean, it's very clear now that Triple G will probably have a huge size advantage over him. So what's going to happen is Canelo may last a couple more rounds, even have maybe 2-3 more rounds of extra stamina. But I still don't see him. I still see him getting worn down by the pressure. Now, whether or not the lack of PEDs will have PEDs will take we'll be able to take some of Triple G's punches. Now, that's also a question mark right there. And then in terms of his knee, I mean, knees are not 100%. I mean, the dude is still winning. I mean, for all we know, he could have a Sergio Martinez knee.
Right.
Fight.
He was moving fine in the first fight from my eyes. I didn't see nothing was hindering him movement-wise in the first fight.
I'm talking about Canelo, not Triple G.
I can't believe that anyone isn't talking about Canelo took a year off and is still fighting Triple G. He has to see something in Triple G, right?
Or he has to prove that he can actually beat him without the PED.
Pat.
No, he didn't see shit.
Triple G is not a Floyd thing where you can take an L to him and just, have it be nothing.
Canelo's taking it because he's being slandered left and right. He has to right his wrong. He didn't see shit.
That is true though. He was dragged through the mud now.
So Pat, you have better boxing eyes than I do, and that's a massive compliment. So if you don't see what they see, you're crazy.
The only
this thing is gonna look like
Triple G is just he got some work in, and and you gotta hope that the age doesn't creep up on him. But Canelo is not. I mean, Canelo's not Canelo. I mean, he's going in there smaller and with a knee issue. So I'm not gonna assume that he's gonna just outbox and outspeed Triple G. No, that's not the case.
So
I think it's gonna come down to. I honestly think it's gonna come down to who's less respectful of the other person, because they was hella respectful of each other's power and skill last fight. Triple G didn't. We saw it. Triple G when he had him on the ropes was trying to be all tactical and shit, as opposed to how he normally is. You know what I'm saying? The same with Canelo. Canelo was not. He didn't stand in the middle of the ring as much as I thought he should, and he was trying to do the whole rope-a-dope and
he got
blah, blah, blah. I think he was respecting Triple G's powers too much, and he took his power well, and I think that is going to help him going into. I think it's going to help both of them going into the second fight. So I just want to see who's more reckless when they got the other person in trouble. That's what I think is going to be the big key.
So you guys have probably all seen this fight. And there's portions of it, not the entire thing, portions of it that I think can relate. James Toney, Iran Barkley. Now, Pat, you're probably going to be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But if you watch Triple G's last two fights, he punches a lot wider than he used to, with a lot more weight on the front foot and a lot more robotic, kind of stiff. If you've seen any of Canelo's training videos, he's came in a lot smaller, pause no homo, and he's punching straight from the shoulders, no bullshit, utilizing a lot of step back and pivot out movement. So if you've seen the fight that I talked about, James Toney, Iron Barkley, there were moments when Tony was even up against the ropes and was just letting loose on Iron Barkley's body because his hand speed was that much quicker than his opponents. And we're talking about a Canelo that's probably, because he was at what?
I'm actually appalled that you're comparing Canelo to the great James Toney.
I'm not. I'm comparing the fights. And let me reiterate, Ringside Rave is not a homophobic network or whatever, but Canelo's a cheating faggot. He's going to come in at about Canelo weight. He's not going to come in at 160. You can tell from his shoulders. You can tell from the way that he's boxing in training camp. So if there's something that Triple G can do really to win this fight without, like, you know, unlocking a new level of skill that I don't know that he has to knock Canelo out to win the fight.
That's true.
Because if Canelo is standing, and if
he makes it to the final round,
right, he's getting those cards. He's getting those cards.
But as far as skill wise, not to cut you off. Go ahead.
If I'm 25% right, Canelo will win at least 6 rounds. And that means he wins 9 on the judges' card, so unanimous decision.
He was not.
Honestly, I like I said, I'm a Triple G stan. We all probably done watched the fight a billion times because I had an 8-4ish, but objectively speaking, I can see where a draw was given. I can see why it was given because Triple G, I thought he won the middle of the fight cleanly, but the first half and the last half, he kind of favored Canelo more, even though he did do the whole fight in spurts in the last 3 rounds. But I can see how that can sway a judge's mind and fans' mind. Like, yeah, you could give those rounds to Canelo because he was applying more pressure than Triple G, definitely in the championship round. So I like I said, I had an 8-4, but the draw, like I said, now that, you know, the fight's way been done, you know, when you come down off the high, you be like, I can see why. I can definitely see why. I just think Canelo need to go to the body more. That's what I thought he needed to do. The few times he did, he was not hurting Triple G, but I could see Triple G reacting in an ugly way. But I just thought, I don't know why he didn't go to the body more. And same with Triple G. Both of them need to go to the body more.
Man, I don't know. I just see that Canelo losing weight is just so he can have his hands just be quicker, have his reflexes sharper, and all that. I think that he's gonna try to. I don't know if he's gonna really try to stand there in the pocket at first with GGG. I mean, he may, but like Smoke was saying, he felt the punches. He felt GGG's power. He already took flush power from GGG. Maybe he felt like he can take it, so he's losing weight. So that way, those same shots or those same openings that he's seen that he wasn't able to get off in the first fight, he may be able to get off this time. Or he may be able to dodge a punch or two that he wasn't able to do in the second fight. But like I said, I don't really want to talk about that fight. We're gonna do a whole podcast on that one, on GGG, especially when they get closer, because I want to see what their minds is.
I don't want to see their minds. I want to see what they actually look like physically. And if Canelo looks like the way I think he's going to look, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, Canelo always looked like $1 million. That's Canelo Flair. No, it's not. It's not. Pause. We're talking about boxers. We're talking about boxers. We go to the weigh-ins. They're gonna show up at the weigh-ins. Canelo's in shape like he always is. He's gonna show up in perfect condition. I don't see if he's smaller. If he's smaller than he was for the first fight. Of course, maybe that's because he felt he had to bulk up for GGG. That's why it's interesting in the second go around and he's deciding to drop a lot of weight and come in lighter for this one. So we'll see how it play out. Maybe he's going to try to go the Kell Brook route. Maybe he's going to try the Kell Brook route. Yeah, we just got to see him. But yeah, when they get closer, hopefully that doesn't.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll have hours to talk about that shit. Gervonta Davis is fighting Abner Mares.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that fight at all. Not at all. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, Mares just lost to Santa Cruz. Why is he? And they couldn't find a better opponent. I mean, everyone was looking for Farmer. I was looking because they were talking that shit to each other. So I'm like, okay, we're about to get some unification because, as someone like pointed out to me, 130 doesn't have a lot of unification bouts. It doesn't happen too often in that division, and much less between two black fighters. So I mean, it would have been nice, if they would have, got together and make some money, and make this fight. But fortunately, it wasn't meant to be, and then we got this farce, and it's gonna be brutal. I'm not looking forward to watching this fight. It's gonna be type brutal.
And I mean, I see. Also, selfishly as a boxing fan, I really want to see Tank and Tevin Farmer get in the ring. You know what I mean, and go at it because Tank did say he's either unifying at 130 or he's moving up for his next fight. And so to be fighting another fighter that's moving up, and it's not even a unification bout, like Abner Mares is not even a champion even at 126. So it's like it's not really something I'm looking forward to. But on the flip side, I mean, as far as for Tank himself and his career moving forward, I mean, I guess because we know Tank versus Abner Mares is not going to be its own card.
No, not at all.
For some reason, Tank hasn't been able to main event yet, which is weird to me because Tank should be main eventing by now. But so I know it's going to be on somebody else's card. So if it's on, say, a Mikey Garcia card or something from Staples Center, I can see that being a good move. But I'm just a little disappointed. But that's, like I said, it's selfishly as a boxing fan because I've been ready to see and Tevin get it in. I've been ready to see. I was ready to go to DC to see. I wanted to go stay at the MGM or Harbor to see it. Like I don't care. I wanted to see that fight in Baltimore. I want to see them two go at it.
So I was at Staples Center with a boy, fucking Leon, when Tank got shown on the Jumbotron at the Mikey fight, and he got booed with AB for shit. A good solid minute.
I don't know.
It's bizarre to me. I don't know.
That may have been the Can Man's booze, man. I don't know.
No.
You think they were booing Tank and AB? I know AB.
It was. I mean, it was pretty.
Mexican. AB. Him. Yeah, so, you don't mess with him.
That's the thing is, I don't even get why they would put Tank on the left coast. Like, to me, that's silly. Like, he should be Barclays bound or fighting in Las Vegas because they don't have those, how do we say it, coastal extremes.
Coastal extremes.
Pat knows what I mean.
I think it's just because of the fan base. I mean, Abner Mares brings sales tickets in LA though.
Yo, so
and Mares though, I mean, as I mentioned, I think I mentioned before, Mares though has eye issues. He has rental issues, so New York is not going to license him. So that's part of the reason why.
So I can see for financially, which is what the money team is about. The money team is about making money, Mayweather Promotions, and also getting their fighters in good fights with names, with fights that they could win. And at the end of the day, people could argue, well, this is not a fight but you're lying to yourself if you're going to say Tank is not the favorite in that matchup. I mean, not only is he bigger, he's still close to his. While Abner Mares is looking like he's seen better days, he's still, but Tank is the bigger fighter, punches harder. He's right in the middle of his prime, you know what I mean? And so this is definitely a fight, for the money, for the visuals. So I could see it bringing in everything outside the ring, but as a fight fan, which I am first and foremost, as Ringside Rave is first and foremost for the fans, it's a little disappointing fight because I wanted to see Tank versus Tevin Farmer. That's what I wanted to see. I'm tired of them talking back and forth, and then we think we're about to get it next, and then there's another fight. It's like, come on, man. Like, it's a letdown. And Abner Mares is not even a letdown type of fighter, though. because he didn't have bad fights versus Leo Santa Cruz.
He's gonna get Johnny Gonzalez,
but it's a letdown still. It's still a letdown just because of the hype of wanting to see Tank versus Tevin Farmer.
Right.
Yeah.
So I take that back already, but I don't think I can recall seeing Tank fight on a card that didn't have other Floyd fighters on it. Pat would know better though.
I mean, the closest, was he got. Didn't he get the co-main spot for Mayweather McGregor, or did he just get a spot?
No. I'm saying I don't remember seeing him on many other cards where there weren't other Mayweather fighters on it.
Yeah, I don't know any off the top of my head.
He was on the Broner Vargas card.
I mean, so About Billions is pretty much part of TMT.
Oh man, I don't know.
I mean, Floyd co-promotes.
Oh, wait a minute. No, didn't he fight in England? Yeah, I mean, that was his own card, wasn't it?
Versus Liam Walsh.
Yeah.
Was that versus Liam Walsh? I don't know. I can't remember. I think so. Yeah. Tank should be a star, man.
I mean,
he's a star. He's an uncrowned star right now by the people. They haven't picked up on him yet. Tank is actually somebody people need to stay focused.
Tank needs to stay focused.
Tank needs to stay focused, but I'm really liking. Who's creeping up my power rankings, my own personal power rankings, is Devin Haney. I'm liking the way he's moving. I'm liking the way.
So promoter's license, and he's promoting his own card now. His next fight.
Yeah. Only 19. I like his style. I like
20 now.
Power.
Just need to stay away from Black China though. Don't get involved in any of this fool.
Yo, so his uncle
rating his mindset, making him be a boss, or helping him feel like he a boss. If he feel like he gotta have a Black China to feel like he a boss right now, let that young man do his thing. He only 19 with a Black China though. I can see if 30 with a Black China then, but he only 19, so he always could get to say at the end of the day, I'm 19 with Black China though.
Yeah, he's 19 now. No, he's too young. That's a professional cougar, son. You can't be. No, you need to leave Black China alone.
Like
by proxy, Devin Haney fucks with all of us because his uncle, I think it is, fucks with all of us on the gram, 100%.
That's what's up.
That's good.
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
Isn't Devin Haney 20 now? He's soaking up all that game from Floyd Sr.
No, he's not even with them anymore.
What?
No. I thought he was by himself. I thought Devin Haney was by himself with just him and his father.
If that's the case, I'm gonna have to hit up his uncle and ask him what's good.
And he's on himself, but he's definitely. And that one thing I like about Devin Haney though, when I watch his interviews, is that definitely get on his flashy. Y'all know I like fighters with the flashiness and arrogance and all that. But I like the fact that in his interviews, you can tell that he's like he's smart. You know what I mean?
He's down to earth. He's level-headed, and that's what most young fighters need to be.
I like the most. Yeah. So not only does he give you that arrogant side, which that's what you deserve when you work hard. You get to play hard. You deserve to act like that when you're working hard. And like I said, young boy, he definitely working hard. He's for real. I'm liking Devin Haney. I'm gonna keep my eyes on his success.
Yeah, dude's definitely a future lightweight champion in the making. I will say that. Give him a couple more years, he'll be a champion.
So there were a couple other crappy fights this weekend that were either announced or fought. Carl Frampton beat up Luke Jackson.
Yeah, it was not. It was not. Pretty much, it was Frampton trying to get his knockout in his last 6 fights. His first knockout in his last 6 fights. So I mean, he did what he had to do. You know, I mean, it took a little bit, but he got rid of him. You know, but it wasn't a really great fight to watch.
What stems from that, though, is he is going to fight Josh Warrington.
Yes, and now Warrington doesn't have the power to bother him. Just the activity. So I mean, with a lot of these volume punchers, I mean, some of them you either get lucky and it'll be like frenetic and it'll be bloody, or Warrington will just get pummeled by Frampton, who does punch a lot harder than he does.
Yeah,
Warrington got a belt, right?
Yeah, exactly. So so it's not really a unification since he's
Frampton's plan, and I know this, is to beat Warrington, get his belt, and then unify with my boy Young Valdez.
Valdez, he needs back in. We gotta see him back in the ring. We have to see him back in the ring first.
He needs 2 tune-ups.
Yes, he needs 2 minimum. Because I gotta see if this move to Canelo's trainer is the move for him, and maybe get a little bit more defense, maybe to stick to a defensive play, instead of going to all these crazy ass wars that he's been doing lately.
I mean,
he gets a shot against Frampton.
Yeah, he did get wrecked in his last fight, though. I mean,
well, that was more his opponent coming in 16 pounds overweight.
I mean,
at the weigh-in.
First,
what was the weight disadvantage on fight night though? Of that fight?
Well, the fight night was like 14, 15 pounds, somewhere around there. But Quigg missed his weight officially by like almost 3 pounds. Quigg was pretty much, I think, like a welterweight almost. It was a welterweight in that fight.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fighters get away with, they get to do stuff like that, but I mean, hey, it's the weight games.
Valdez. They should have canceled the fight, but Valdez was like, "Fuck it, bring it on," and then you get what you get.
Actually, these are things that I've heard is that his old trainer, Manny Robles, pushed that fight heavy and very much encouraged him to fight Quigg despite the obvious disadvantages, and at the time it wasn't seen as like that big of a deal. And then in the months after, in their recuperation, they looked at things a little bit differently.
Yeah. And when you see your meal ticket, as well as the future of this kid going down the drain because you took off a part of his prime, because at the very minimum, Valdez lost prime in that ring tonight. We don't know how much. We'll find that out when he goes up against the elite of the division, which he hasn't even gotten to yet. So
you know what? Unfortunately, I think that while he was fast-tracked for that, the Quigg fight really pushed that back.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you can't take that type of punishment that young in your career. You can't take that type of punishment because that knocks away, like I said, that knocks off prime off your career. So hopefully Valdez still has a lot left in the tank, because I want to see him versus LSC in LA at Staples Center.
I want to see him face Gary Russell. I want him to face another champion.
Gary Russell, come on.
Yo, Gary Russell didn't get Jojo Diaz out of there when Jojo Diaz was all up in his territory.
Gary Russell is like you doing something and like you having fun or something, and somebody like some chick you messed with back in the days, and you doing something and your friends is always throwing that name and you're like, man, why you gotta bring that name up for, man? Like that. That's how I feel every time he bring up Gary Russell.
Oh,
yeah, it's like Gary
Russell.
Gary Russell.
Gary Russell is the WBC featherweight champion, so you got to put respect on that name.
We came, man. Gary, no, I'm not putting respect on Gary. I'm not putting respect on Gary Russell. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not putting respect on Gary Russell's name. Because
Newzz.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you exactly why I'm not gonna put respect on Gary Russell's name. I'm not. Yes, is he a world champion? He is a world champion. Is he skilled? Yes, he's very skilled. He is very skilled. But Gary Russell doesn't even care about boxing.
No.
I mean, even though he's successful at it, it's just like how we say, like, I mean, it's hard to say he's a culture vulture, but you know, like in music, when people are successful with rap and they don't even care about rap, like that's how I look at Gary Russell. Like, yeah, you successful at it, but you always tell us you don't even watch boxing. You don't even care about boxing. I wouldn't even be doing it. I'm like, he doesn't even care about it. So why do I even care to mention his name or even give him props when he doesn't even care that we even cover him for real? He don't care about. So that's the only thing for me with Gary Russell. He don't care about the sport of boxing. I care about the sport of boxing. So I don't really care about Gary Russell. Like, and that's because of his own doing, not because of his talent though. I would never say he doesn't have talent. He's definitely talented. I don't think he beats Leo Santo Cruz. I definitely don't think he does that. But as far as Gary Russell, I'm not putting respect on his name because he won't put respect on the sport of boxing.
And he's mad and accurate when he punches.
You're saying his accuracy.
Yeah, he lands like 12%.
I don't want to go at Pat Fighter though, but 'cause I know that's Pat Boy, Gary Russell.
I mean, you just pretty much went at him real hard.
I didn't really go at him though. I'm just saying that he's saying that he don't care about boxing. He says it all the time.
I mean,
like,
Mikey Garcia says that he's not really a fan of boxing, but I guess him and Gary Russell have different definitions.
I just feel like if you don't care about the sport at all, then why should I take the time out to respect your status in the sport that you don't even care about? You don't even care about it. So why should I respect your status in that sport you don't care about? That's all. It's like a waste of time when we do that. So I don't know for him, and if it's any other boxer that does not care about boxing, you're just good at it. That's cool. That's fine. I would not talk about you because what's the point? You don't even care we're talking about you.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Like, you don't even care about that. You don't even care about the sport. So why he would never listen to our podcast. The only reason Gary Russell would listen to our podcast is if he heard that we were talking in a negative fashion towards him. Other than that, he wouldn't care. He don't care about boxing.
What if he was looking for someone from New England to represent him though?
The New England. Like, if Gary Russell cared about boxing, man, he'd probably be a force.
I mean, like I said, I've already met Gary Russell. I met his fam. I sat next to him. So Gary is good in my book. Gary's a young man with his head on straight. So Gary, and plus, I'm a fan of his style.
What does that even mean, Harvard Pat?
What do you mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
He good people. He definitely good people.
He's good in my book. You know what I'm saying? The man is talented. He has his head on straight. And I'm a fan. So now, of course, I already told you what I think has happened because, I think he has that Heyman curse or whatever, the Heyman syndrome. So that's unfortunate.
The Heyman syndrome is unfortunate. Pat likes his boxers to get paid peanuts.
I like them to earn their money.
Wilder don't have the Heyman.
Oh, what y'all gonna say when Wilder get that $15 million? Wait.
No, everyone knows the fighters who I think have the Heyman syndrome. Wilder has his issues, but it's not that.
Man, let's talk about a fighter that got the Heyman syndrome. When is y'all boy AB coming back?
No comment.
When is he? Like, it's been very slow on the Adrian Broner front lately.
Okay, can I go into can I kind of just go on a tangent? Mikey Garcia kind of shut down about Billions promotions.
No.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
He inflicted some L's on him. That's for sure.
He did inflict some L's on him, but I don't see that. I see Mikey Garcia got those wins, but I still don't see those wins being enough to boost Mikey Garcia to the next level, which means it ain't enough to stop like whatever run they're on. I just think, period, where is Adrian Broner? Period. He fought in April. for Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas wanted to run it back. They were talking about Sergey Lipinets.
I mean, hopefully he's not.
Honestly, I thought he was gonna fight Lipinets, and that would actually be a decent fight.
Yeah, I mean, I know they put that out there. I mean, hopefully he's not anywhere eating candy or something like that, blowing up between fights again.
He's probably smoking chronic and drinking lean.
Man, that's crazy. And it's like, AB might as well just get ready. If he doesn't win his next fight, he might as well just get ready to go overseas.
I mean, he got a draw with Jesse Vargas. I mean, who saw that coming?
I did.
I mean,
I didn't because he shouldn't have.
No, there's audio evidence of me saying that Vargas would win. But
I thought Vargas won that fight by like a point, but it was just like that fight was way too close.
What did I tell you guys about AB after Newzz? What did I tell you about AB after the Mikey Garcia fight? I told you that he needs to go on a bum tour, fight C-level fighters for like 7 fights in a row.
Embody them.
Yep, embody them. True or false?
He already did, and then he stopped.
When?
After he lost to Madonna, he came back. He fought Carlos Molina.
That went the distance.
Right. It went the distance. Then he went and he fought Emmanuel Taylor, and then he dropped him in the 12th round. And then he fought. Right. Then he fought. I'm just saying, like, he already did his tour. Like, you can't just go back and do another tour.
Go back on another one.
There's really no tour though. The book is already out. The judgment's already in. We already know it. No matter whoever you fight, you can go back and he can run his record up to 50-3. He can run it up to 50-3. At the end of the day, it don't matter if you fighting that caliber of opponent. Everybody already knows he can beat them. You know what I mean? He can beat the Ashley Theophanes. He can beat the Khabib Elakardivs. He really can beat the Jesse Vargas. I don't know what the hell happened there. The problem is always going to remain. You cannot beat people above your level or above. You can't beat it. We're gonna say.
I mean, first of all, Broner needs to pick a division. He's either gonna be at 140 or he's gonna be at 147. No more of this catch weights. Fight, pick a decision, and stay there.
Newzz. What if he fought Saddam Ali?
What if he fought Saddam Ali?
Yeah, at welter.
I don't know. He'd beat Saddam Ali. Any fighter around on that caliber, he's gonna beat. He's gonna beat some fighters. Yeah, I do. I think the problem with Adrian Broner is he doesn't fight enough like he used to, and I still think it's the mental thing. The same way with Kovalev. I still think that losing to Marcos Maidana ruined his mental as far as when it comes to that ring. Taking that punishment. Once you get, like they say all the time, give him one good ass whooping and that's gonna change all that. That's the same thing. If you're in that boxing ring, when you take that beating that Adrian Broner took on that night in 2013 from Marcos Maidana, it's gonna change your outlook mentally in the fight when it's time to really get to it. And I really think that affected him moving forward. So I just can't. I don't understand why
he was there for the Pritchard Colon fight too.
Yeah, and that too.
He notably said how that made him shook.
Right, that too. So it's like knowing AB. Yeah, he's
ain't the type of cat to be shook.
No, he's not scared of it. No, he's not scared of them. He just know what it is taking the punishment. He's aware. So that's the thing. You know, you're a boxer, you can't be aware. You can't be aware that you're taking punishment. You know what I mean? You can't be in the moment. I believe Adrian Broner becomes in the moment when he gets hit. When he gets hit a couple times, real good, something like that. I believe he becomes in the moment. And then it changes how he reacts, which is why he guards up and he lets you get yours. He gets himself together and then he comes back. But it's been an hour, fellas. That fade hour.
All right, bros. So it has been the inaugural episode of the Fade Hour presented to you by Ringside, Rave. It's your boy Smoke signing out. Much respect to my boy Pat. Say what's good.
What's good?
And my boy Newzz.
You already know what it is, man. Ringside Rave, y'all enjoy yourself. We out of here.
One.
Thank you guys for listening to Ringside Rave. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.